Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel, or hi, hello if you are new here, and welcome to today's video, which I'm preempting is going to be a little bit chaotic because I'm not the best at talking about stuff and filming makeup, hence why I am not a beauty channel. But I also love doing makeup, and I am going to be doing my own wedding makeup because we are getting married on the Grand Canyon, which means that in order to get somebody to come and do my makeup, I've been quoted $800. That includes your hair as well, which would be nice because I don't like doing hair. I'm not paying $800 for hair and makeup. Just for me, it's quite a lot of money, so I'm going to be doing it myself. So over the last sort of month, I've just been trialing different products. I'm even going to trial some new products again today, and I've been trying out different makeup looks and trying to get an idea of what I like. So I thought I would do a trial on camera today. I'm not saying this is going to be my definite makeup, but I really hope that I'm somewhere close because I think I know what I want now. So I am going to attempt to update you with all of the wedding plans in this video, and also do my wedding makeup and tell you everything that I'm using. I will link every single product that I used today in the description box below, so if I forget to mention something, then you can just look down there and you'll be able to find it. So before we get started, I am looking very, very tanned. I went yesterday to prepare for this video and I got a spray tan, but it wasn't just any spray tan, it was a spray tan in one of those machines that you walk into, so it's not a physical person that does it. You know, like on that Friends episode where he got sprayed on both sides the same colour? I was so worried that was going to happen, but the lady explained that the machine will tell you exactly what to do when you're in there. It was actually really simple. You just go in, it takes like 3 minutes, you have to stand there like this, but the only mistake that I made was she did say keep your hands out of the way, which I did, but I think I was just very awkward. And then at one point during the spray tan part of it, I like panicked that my hands were in the way, so I moved them. And yeah, basically I have very, very tanned thumbs, which doesn't look great. So they have come out a little bit orange, but the rest of my hands are kind of okay. My body looks really, really good. The colour has come out so nice, it's so even. The only other thing I will mention is she said keep your arms really far away from your body, which I felt like I did do, but maybe I didn't hold them far enough out because my armpits, they're just like really white. So next time I go, I'm going to make sure that my armpits get a little bit of colour. I mean, obviously you don't need your armpits to be like that tanned, but I don't want them to just be like little white patches under my arms, which I do feel like they are a bit. Overall though, I think the tan went okay. I think I'm going to do it for the wedding. It was a little tester to see whether I'm going to have it before the wedding because their tan claims to last 10 days. So I felt like this was really good because we're travelling out on the 27th. I should probably be doing my makeup now while I'm talking about all this stuff. This is where it's going to be difficult. Let's get into the makeup. And then we'll chat about the plans. But yeah, I wanted to mention the tan just in case you thought I was looking a little bit orange. That is why. I have also prepped my skin. I have used my Medicube vitamin C drops. These are so good for brightening, so I use these every single day. And I also use, they have little vitamin C pads that you can clean your face with. I also did that as well and then put these on top. And then I've put a load of SPF on, which maybe I might not do this on the day, I don't know, because SPF can cause a little bit of flashback in photography. But I'm going to look into this a little bit more because where we are going to be in the heat and it is going to be probably quite a hot day, maybe it is important that I have SPF on, but I don't know because I'm going to have foundation and stuff, so I think my skin will be protected enough. Anyway, today I have put loads of SPF on. And then I will zoom you in and get into applying. Yeah, this video already feels like it's chaotic and I'm really sorry if I'm not very good at it, but I hope you enjoy it anyway. If you do enjoy it and you're not already subscribed to my channel, definitely consider subscribing. A lot of you guys who watch my videos aren't actually subscribed. If you're watching this and not subscribed, it would really, really help my channel out if you do subscribe and also hit the like button. Anyway, so let's apply some primer and zoom you in. So the primer that I'm going to use and possibly use on the day is the NYX Plump Right Back primer. This is a plumping serum and a primer. I just really, really like the way this one makes my skin feel because it moisturizes and plumps, but it also leaves it slightly tacky, which I just feel like is a really good base for the foundation. So I'm going to apply this and then I think I might do my eyes first before foundation, just so I can get a little bit of a sharper look on them, but I will apply the primer anyway because I'll put a little bit on my eyelids. So we're going to be flying out to Vegas at the end of August, and we're going to have about 3 nights in Vegas. before we actually then drive to the Grand Canyon and get married. So in Vegas, we have planned to stay in the Paris hotel, which for some reason on the 3 nights that I've booked was so affordable. I can't believe it. So I've booked our whole wedding party in there. There is only about, I think there's like 12 or 13 of us. There's a few people who we're just still waiting on for like definites. Oh, this primer just feels so good. Okay, so my skin is primed. It's looking a little bit of a funny colour. I don't know if it's coming off on camera, it probably is. But basically, I have a lot of old scars on my face from acne. And whenever I have a spray tan that's on my face, it clings to the scars a little bit. So it creates this kind of like patchy, kind of dotty face, which is frustrating, but that is just my real life skin. So there we go. Also, I do have some false eyelashes on. These are the ones that you stick underneath the lashes. I picked them up on Amazon. They are the Kev lashes. I've tried out quite a few different ones. I actually think for the wedding, I'm going to get the Tati Lash Invisilash ones because they look so good. I actually do have some to test out, but these are the ones I've just been wearing day to day, and you just apply a glue like a bit like a mascara, and then you stick these underneath the lashes, and then they just look like lash extensions. So I'll be doing my own lashes for the wedding as well. That way I can keep them topped up throughout the holiday. Do you know what I'm realizing very quickly? That I can't actually talk about the wedding and talk about the makeup at the same time. So I'm going to chat about the wedding and just apply all of my makeup, and then I'll leave all of the products that I use linked down below in the description. I think that way is going to be an easier video because honestly, I can't do it. My brain cannot do it. It's either the makeup or the wedding, and I really want to talk about the wedding. So yeah, we will have a few nights in Vegas before, and we're actually planning to do a bit of a hen and stag do on the like middle night of when we stay there. And my mum and my friends, a couple of friends who are coming, are actually planning the hen do for me, which does fill me with a little bit of anxiety because I am a planner. So if I go anywhere with my friends or family, I'm generally the person who's like planning what we're doing, and I've got the itinerary and all of that. So yeah, that I do find a little bit stressful, but I have full trust in them and I'm just going with the process. And I just think it'll be really cool to actually not have to plan one part of the trip, and I can just enjoy somebody else planning it for me. So yeah, very excited about all of that. And hopefully somebody will do the same for Ollie, or he can plan his own little stag do as well. There'll only be small little do's because obviously there's only a few of us going, but to me that's just perfect. I get very overwhelmed in big groups of people. Actually, one of the questions that I did get is, why are we getting married abroad and not doing something in the UK? And there are a few reasons for this, but the main reason is Ollie and I both, we like small, quiet things. We're not massive, like life and soul of the party people. We love going to parties and events and things, but we're generally a bit more of the quieter couple, still really enjoying ourselves. But yeah, just a little bit quieter, I suppose. And I do get anxious when it comes to big groups of people. For our wedding day, we just didn't want to be anxious, and we just really wanted to enjoy it. So really, the idea of getting married abroad just suits us because it'll be less people there. It's definitely easier to plan. I mean, the process of planning this wedding has been lovely. I've just booked directly with a wedding company that works on weddings in the Grand Canyon, and they basically just ask you a few questions about what sort of things that you want, and they organise it for you. You get a few choices, so you get to choose between what colour roses you want. It's just a rose bunch of flowers that you get given. You get to choose the flavour of the cake. You get to choose a little bit of like a table decor thing. And then the other reason for getting married abroad, and in the Grand Canyon in particular, is when Ollie and I first met, we actually went on a round the world trip together. So we'd only known each other, I think maybe maximum 3 months, and I was planning to go off traveling maybe to like Europe and go and work there and just like do all that fun stuff that you do when you're, I was 19, so I was very young, and I wanted to go and do that, and I was quitting my job and I was going to go do that. And then I'd met him at the same time and we did just really click. And I was like, oh, this is so awkward because, you know, I was really planning on going off on my own and being all independent, and I was in a little bit of a dilemma because I was thinking I want to go off and do my own thing, but I also really like this guy and I don't want to potentially lose him. But I didn't tell him that, honestly. At 19, I was so mean. I was like, I definitely did the whole play hard to get thing, and honestly don't know why he remained with me, because I think it is that treat him mean, keep him keen. I honestly think that actually works. Look how beautiful this palette is from Victoria Beckham. This is one of the new products I'm actually going to try today. This will be in an upcoming video actually, because I did buy more luxury makeup products at auction, and this is one of the things I got from the auction. And yeah, it's brand new. I didn't know what colour it was going to be, but it's actually the perfect colours that I want for my wedding makeup, so I'm going to try it out today. But yeah, this palette, oh my god, it's so heavy, it's beautiful. I don't know if you've ever had any of the Victoria Beckham stuff, but thoroughly recommend it so far. I have just put concealer on my eyelids and then set it with a little bit of powder, and I think that's all I'm going to do for like the base of it. I really don't want my wedding makeup to look too heavy, so I'm not doing that special occasion really thick makeup. I'm trying to make it so it looks good in photos but also looks good in real life as well, so like person to person. I don't want to look like I've got like a cake face, so that's enough kind of priming on the eye. I think it's already starting to look a bit dry, so I need to be careful with that. So yeah, anyway, I told him I was going away and blah blah blah, and then he said, oh, you know, I could always come away with you. And I was a bit like, oh, I don't know, I was really, you know, trying to do this by myself. I wasn't sure if I wanted somebody to come away with me, but there was just something inside of me that was telling me that that would be a nice thing to do. And so I said to him, okay, maybe I'll go away first by myself and then you can come and join me. Actually, what I ended up doing was I went away by myself, but I just went to live with my friend for a few months. She's in the UK, so I didn't really go far at all. And then he planned kind of like his own trip. He asked me, which actually, saying that I'm a planner, I just let him get on with it. I think I was acting like, oh my god, he's like following me and he's coming with me and this is my trip. And I was kind of acting like I didn't care, but inside I was so excited that this man just wanted to plan this whole round the world trip with me and just go. Yeah, I was excited, I will admit it. Anyway, I kind of want to cut a long story short. He made all the plans, but he asked me sort of places I want to go. And anyway, one of the places that we both actually wanted to go was Vegas, and I especially wanted to go to the Grand Canyon, which is what we did. We had a great time in Vegas, even though I was only 20 then. By that point I'd had a birthday, which wasn't ideal in Vegas because you have to be 21 to do anything. So I kept trying to change my look and go down into the casinos and be allowed to actually go on some games, but I kept getting like kicked out. So in the end I just had to stay in the hotel room and just chill in there, and Ollie stayed downstairs in the casino. So we have been back since though, and yeah, it's a cool place to go. But we went to the Grand Canyon. We hired a car. It actually was like kind of like an SUV. We did like a little night's camping there, just in the back of the car. We just had some blankets and yeah, just chilled in like a car, and it was just, oh, just one of the most amazing memories. And I knew I wanted to visit the Grand Canyon, but I didn't know how it was going to make me feel. And we were driving through and then we stopped, went to like one of the viewpoints there and just like walked up, and as the trees cleared I just saw the canyon, and honestly I was just so, it almost makes me feel emotional when I think about it. I was just so amazed by it, and the fact that I was on this trip with this man that I was definitely falling in love with. Just an incredible moment that I will never forget. And I remember thinking at that moment, I'm going to get married here on the edge of this canyon. I am going to have my wedding. And I didn't know at the time, would that be with Ollie? Who would that be with? I didn't know. We'd only been with each other a couple of months and I was only 20. So I don't know what I was thinking, but I just had this image in my head. And yeah, I mean, how amazing that it's actually turned out that it is with Ollie. We both shared that moment together, and now we're going to go back and we're going to celebrate our wedding there. Amazing. So those are the two main reasons why we are going abroad to get married, and why we've chosen the Grand Canyon. Okay, I think I've blended this eyeshadow a lot since I've been talking. And what an amazing place to actually have a wedding. Like, how incredible. And we've actually got friends and family coming with us, which just is even more amazing, because we honestly thought, oh, you know, it's a big ask. Is anyone actually going to come? Those closest to us are coming with us, which just makes the whole thing even more incredible. So another question that I was asked is, how does it work? Is it like a package, or have I planned it all myself? Like, how does the process work? And the actual wedding ceremony is a package, although I have booked everything separately. So I have booked the Paris hotel that I was talking about earlier separately. I've booked the flight separately. Well, Ollie booked the flight separately, and then the wedding package has also been booked. And then, because the canyon is actually about a 4 to 5 hour drive from Vegas, and we'll be staying in Vegas, I have also booked us an Airbnb, which I don't know what's the most exciting bit. I think the Airbnb probably is the bit that I'm the most excited about. I don't know. Oh, I don't want to say that, because obviously the ceremony and the wedding it's amazing. We're going to get married, which is so cool. But I have booked a whole ranch. I'm not even joking. It's a whole freaking ranch, and it's only a 20-minute drive from where the ceremony is going to be held. If I ever block the camera with the mirror, I do apologise. These eyeshadows blend beautifully together. So far I've used this light shade here, and then I've gone in with this deeper brown shade in the crease, and I think I'm going to use this very light pink shade just to kind of blend it all together. So the ranch, it is an Airbnb, and it is actually 2 separate Airbnbs, but I've ended up booking both of them just so that everybody that's coming actually gets their own bedroom, because I just want everyone to be sort of like very, very comfortable with the whole thing. And it's on like, I want to say it's on like about 2 acres of land or something, basically in Williams, which is very, very close to, it's basically at the entrance of the Grand Canyon, Williams. And Williams, the town, it just looks amazing anyway, because it's like your old style Western kind of town. I love country and Western, and all of that is like my favourite vibe ever. So the fact that we have a ranch for everyone to stay in is really cool. We're staying there for 2 nights, so we'll arrive the day before the wedding. We'll drive from Vegas, and we'll make a lovely trip across the canyon and get to the Airbnb, and then we will stay there the night before the wedding, probably have a little mini party the night before and maybe some food and stuff. And then the next day we will have our wedding day. But I say wedding day, it actually is a sunset wedding. So the wedding doesn't start until 4:30 and it goes on till 7. So it's only a 2.5 hour like ceremony thing. And within that 2.5 hours, it includes the minister who does the ceremony. It includes a bunch of flowers for me, which is a bunch of roses, and I've got to choose like which colour. I've just gone for white ones. And then I can choose a ribbon that goes around them, and I've gone for like a lovely rust burnt orange colour just to like blend with the canyon. And then it includes a musician, like an acoustic guitarist, as we arrive and walk. There's not really an aisle, it's kind of just a cobbly path up to the edge of the canyon. But there will be a guitarist playing. And then I've paid a little bit extra to have our wedding on a bit more of a private area, because obviously the whole of the canyon is a public area, so anybody could come and like witness a wedding. It's not going to be like totally private, although this area that I've paid a bit extra for is a bit harder to reach, so the general public might not know this little area, so that's where I've chosen. And this area also has a little picnic bench, because the sunset wedding includes a little picnic, and normally they would just set it up kind of on the floor somewhere on some rocks. But this area has a picnic area. So the lady said that she will set up the picnic tables. This pink is lovely. It actually has some very subtle glitters running through it, which now I've put that all over the colour, all over the eyeshadow. That actually looks really nice. Now I'm going to be brave and deepen up this outer corner here, because I just want that to be a bit deeper. And I'm going to use another shade from this palette, which I'm absolutely loving how these colours all just blend together. So yeah, she said that we can have a little picnic on the picnic bench which, yeah, that just sounds amazing. And she said that she could put a little tablecloth there and stuff, so she can also then kind of blend in that like rust theme that we were going for a little bit. So I think we'll get some maybe like dried flowers on the table or something. I've just told her all those sort of things, but honestly I'm not too fussy because I just want it to be very relaxed and chilled. The whole idea of not having a big huge wedding with all these things to think about is the simplicity of the fact that we don't have to think about all of these things. So I'm not going to make it overly complicated. I just mentioned a few colours that I liked, and I thought just let her roll with it and just see what happens. So yeah, we'll have the ceremony, which I think lasts about half an hour. And then we will sit down at the picnic bench, and then when you're there it's all like bits of, you know, it's kind of a bit like an antipasti. So you have like your dried meats, your olives, your cheeses, all of that, which is amazing. It's literally my favourite types of food anyway. And then we also have a side of toast, so there's a little bit of a drink there as well. And then there's also a cake included. I think I've actually forgotten what flavour I went for the cake. I think I went for chocolate and raspberry. So I think it'll be a chocolate cake with a raspberry filling. And then I've just asked for it to be, you know, like those kind of like naked style cakes. A little bit like that, but only be a tiny little cake. There's obviously only a few of us going to be there, so we don't need a huge cake. So yeah, we'll just be chilling on the picnic bench, enjoying the view, chatting about the ceremony, I'm sure, and taking loads of photos. It includes, I think it's either an hour and a half or 2 hours of photography. So the photographer will be there the whole time and he'll just be taking like random photos. And then I think we get taken off and we do some individual photos on the edge of the canyon and stuff, and some different areas that I'm sure they know about, all the best areas to get photos. So yeah, that is going to be really exciting. I'd say the most difficult things with planning this destination wedding was getting our wedding insurance. So it was really difficult because it's classed as a public event. I had to get public liability insurance. But to try and buy public liability insurance for USA when I live in the UK, or it was called wedding insurance. So to try and buy wedding insurance when I'm living in the UK, but it's for a wedding in the USA, was extremely difficult. I could find loads of companies that would do Europe weddings, but not American ones. So in the end, I had to get a kind of events insurance. I told the company exactly what I needed and they said it's okay, we can do it this way for you. So we're all insured. That was very expensive, £400 for the insurance, and that literally covers us for the 3.5 hours of the wedding. I don't know if it's more because it's on the Grand Canyon, like maybe people are worried you're going to fall off. I don't think it is that. I literally just think that is what it costs when you're doing a wedding like this with people coming. Okay, the eyes are looking nice, I think. I'm going to brighten up here, and then I do have a really nice shimmer that I'm going to put just kind of over the inner bits here, so I have a little bit of a sparkle on the eyes, but I don't want too much. And then yeah, once we've like chilled there and eaten our food and ate the cake and drunk the drink, then we'll just head back to the Airbnb and have a bit of a party, I think. I have been looking into potentially getting caterers in to come do some food at the Airbnb, but I don't know yet. I'll look into that a bit more. That could be the next thing that I plan, or we'll just grab and do our own food, or just nibbles or whatever. I just don't want to make anything too complicated. I just really want to enjoy the moment and not be thinking about all these plans and people coming and going and stuff like that. So I'm conscious to not overcomplicate it. So when you book with the wedding company, who I will leave down below, they do all the planning for you, but they do ask you a few questions. Like I said earlier, what flavour cake do you want? What colour flowers do you want? I'm hoping they're going to ask me what sort of music do we want the guitarist to play. Not what sort of music, obviously he's going to play guitar music, but I mean, is there a particular acoustic song that we want while we get married, sort of thing. So I'm sure they'll ask me that. Also, I'm hoping my skin is going to look way better for the wedding, because I've actually booked in for a Hydra facial, which is apparently supposed to be like the most amazing facial. So I've booked into that. I've booked in for that, but not too close to the wedding, like a month before, just in case it breaks me out, because I do get spots. So that should really improve the tone and texture of my skin, which at the minute it's not looking its best. But yeah, like I said, that fake tan just shows everything up. Okay, so the eyes, I think most of the shadow is done now. We're going to see like how dark this looks when it's all done. I'll probably line a little bit as well. But I'm going to pop this shimmery shadow on. This is the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow Ultra Glitter, and I love this stuff so much. It's very, very glittery. It has a little bit of colour to it as well. but the glitters just stand out so much. I don't know if this is the actual colour I'm going to go for. I'm going to buy a few more of them and just test out some more colours, because this has a silver glitter in it, and actually I think I'd rather more of the goldy warm tone. I'm concentrating it mainly on this inner corner, but I will just let it kind of subtly spread over the whole eyelet, because I just like the idea of it all like merging together and just looking pretty. But yeah, obviously trying to keep this inner corner a little bit brighter, which will look way brighter when I've actually done the concealer and stuff. So yeah, back to the Airbnb, chill out there, probably get a bit drunk. The only thing is we have to check out of the Airbnb that next morning, which is not ideal. Would it be nice if like we stay for another night? But it's very expensive and I just don't think it's worth it staying for another night. And also people are going to want to get off and do their own thing, which has been a lovely part of this, is that everybody that's coming are just tying it in with their own holiday. So they are going to be doing their own thing as well, which is really nice, because also after the wedding, Ollie and I do want to go and do our own thing. So we're going to maybe just find a nice hotel. We've only got about 4 nights I think after the wedding till we go home. We're not doing like a honeymoon or anything. We'll do something at a later date, but yeah, we did want to kind of do something, so I think we're just going to find a nice hotel resort somewhere, just have a few days, just me and him chilling, and then head back home, because we have also planned a party back home, which I'm really excited to say is actually booked now. It's going to be in a beautiful barn on the Isle of Wight, very rustic, very much in the theme of the wedding, not too put together and just relaxed, casual. It's going to have hay bales, fire pits, it's like an open barn, very relaxed, casual vibe, and that has just been so nice that we've planned that, because all of our, obviously we've got a lot more friends and family who won't be coming, who can come to that part. We're going to be staying on that farm as well for 3 nights around the wedding party. So we have lots of lovely fun things going on around the wedding. So it's really nice that we do actually have another thing planned, so that all of our friends and family who can't make it can come to the party. I say who can't make it, but we had to be very selective with who we actually invited to the actual wedding, because the package, you can only have a certain amount of people there, so it's not like we could just say to everybody, oh, if you can come along. It was always going to be a very small wedding, because otherwise you're going to end up just doing a big wedding abroad, which doesn't really stop us from having the big wedding thing that we don't want. So it's basically really nice to be able to invite everybody to this barn party. We're hoping to be able to show a video of the wedding. Oh yeah, because we have paid a little bit extra on our package to have a videographer. So the normal package includes just your photography, your cake, the picnic, the ceremony, the minister who does the ceremony, the acoustic guitarist, flowers, did I say that? All the stuff like that it includes, but you can pay extra to have like extra things done. So we are paying a bit extra to have a videographer there, because I really hope, I don't know if it's going to be possible because the barn that we're having the party at is very rustic, but it would be cool if we could actually show the wedding. It's only going to be a 2 to 3 minute video, just at the party, just to kind of be able to show everyone. They probably would have already seen it anyway, because I probably would have like already posted it on social media. Oh, I don't like that. Change that to a brush. Just smudging a bit of liner now. I love smudgy liner rather than, you know, like liquid eyeliner. Ooh, I love this liner. The eyelashes are looking really, really messy now. Actually, when I do the wedding makeup on the wedding day, I will putting the eyelashes on last, so they'll be completely fresh. I'm not going to be trying to do it around them like I am now. But this should still just give us a bit of an idea of how it's going to look on the actual day. This liner is absolutely amazing. This was another thing that I got in the auction, and it's one of the things that I always wanted, and I was going to buy it full price. And I saw it in the auction and thought, do you know what, I'm going to bid on it. And I didn't even know what colour it was. It's the Victoria Beckham eyeliners, and I think they do about 12 different colours. And I was like, oh, I don't know what colour it is, but maybe it'll be the cocoa one, which is the one that I really wanted. And it arrived yesterday, and I was like, oh my God, what colour is it? What colour is it? I opened it, and it was the cocoa one. Out of like 12 colours, it was the exact colour that I wanted and I was going to buy. So yeah, I've watched loads of videos on it, and I can confirm that is a really lovely eyeliner. It goes on, I suppose it's a bit like, goes on like a creamy gel eyeliner, and then you can just blend it out, and it blends out seamlessly, and then it sort of feels like it's setting now, which is really nice. In my head, I was kind of thinking I was going to do more of a pinky look, but I actually don't think I want a pinky look. I wouldn't normally wear that. I'm kind of just going for how I generally would do my makeup, but just making it very precise and maybe a bit prettier than normal. Right, I've just grabbed a baby wipe. I'm just gonna clean up the edge of the eyeshadow now, and then we're gonna start preparing for the foundation, which I'm a little bit scared about because the foundation is also something that I got from auction, but it is a foundation that I have been considering testing for wedding foundation anyway. So when I saw it in there, I was like, do you know what, we're just gonna get that. I'm gonna save money on it and it is worth a try. And it is the Il Maquillage foundation. I think I'm saying that right, probably not. This foundation, I think, has been advertised to me and everybody else just hundreds of times. Their advertisement campaign is incredible and I've looked into it so many times. I've never bought it just because it looks like a bit more of a heavier foundation, which is not something that I go for these days. But anyway, when I was looking in the auction, this was in there and I was like, well, I want to try it anyway. I did the little online foundation test that they do, which is where they match you to your foundation after you answer quite a lot of questions. And the foundation they actually matched me to was the exact foundation that was at the auction, which is the Flawless Base Foundation Woke Up Like This, I think it's called. Yeah, Woke Up Like This. Shade 6 or something like that. Shade 060. So I was like, oh my god, it's literally the colour that they recommend for me anyway, so we're going for it. I did put in when I did the test that I was going to be fake tanned, so that's why it's come up like my natural colour would not be the 6. But yeah, I've done that primer, although because I've been talking so much and doing my eyeshadow first, it kind of feels like it's gone a bit. But I don't want to apply any more to the skin just because it would be too much product then. So we're just going to go in with the foundation and see what it's like. I'm going to apply it with a brush. And I am going to, even though I think this is a soft matte foundation, but I am going to set with quite a lot of powder, which when you see how much powder I'm going to put on my face, it just doesn't look good. I do not like the feeling of all the powder on my face, but I'm a very, very oily skin person. And in the heat of the Grand Canyon, getting married as well, I'm going to be nervous and sweaty. So I just really want my makeup to stay put. So I'm going to put quite a lot of powder on, but I'm going to set it down with a setting spray and try and make me still look alive and not too powdery. Oh, the consistency looks nice. I think I've pumped out quite a lot there. Okay, this foundation is supposed to like match to your skin like amazingly or something. Let's see. Ooh. Oh my god, that actually doesn't look bad. Look at that compared to that. I mean, obviously the skin on my face is redder, but look at it compared to the neck. Okay. Also, I am going to dermaplan my face completely before the wedding. I just don't like to do this too much on my skin, so I just think surely shaving your face all the time can't be that good for your skin. So I haven't done it for this video, but I will be completely shaving my face. There's no hair. Because I do have a very hairy face. Does anyone else have a hairy face? It's just normal, isn't it? Just have peach fuzz all over your face. But these days we just try and get rid of everything, don't we? So yeah, I do have a hairy face, and in the sun it loves to glow. Not in a good way. Like the hairs like to glow. And Ollie always says to me, all right, you got a hairy chin there. So I don't want to have a hairy chin on my wedding day. Especially because Ollie will just make fun of me. That colour, absolutely perfect, which is so great to know, and it'll be interesting to see how this foundation wears, because if I get this spray tan for the wedding, at least I know that this foundation colour matches it perfectly. I'm going to be wearing a wedding dress. It's a bit of an alternative wedding dress. It's definitely something a bit different, not your kind of traditional wedding dress, because I just didn't want anything too hot. I don't want to talk about the dress too much though, just because like if Ollie watches this, I don't want him to know what the dress looks like. But he will be wearing, which he already has it, he actually bought it for a different do, but it's really nice, so just thought wear it again, why not? It's a beautiful linen suit, a light linen suit. I love linen anyway because it's just that really nice natural material, isn't it? And I just think it will go with the theme so well. I'm not too sure about this foundation, you know, it's a bit heavy. It's a little bit too heavy. The other foundation that I was going to wear is the Dior Face and Body, which is my all-time favourite foundation. So I might still use this one just because this one, we'll see how this wears, but it's quite heavy and thick and I can feel it on my skin, whereas you can't feel this on your skin. And where I'm going to be wearing a lot of powder as well, I'd rather keep some of the products lighter, if you know what I mean, so it doesn't feel too much, you know, because I'm just going to be like wanting to wash my makeup off instantly. So yeah, he's going to look beautiful in his linen suit. The other thing we have done is the people that are coming, we have given them a bit of a dress code, which I know is very, very controlling. But for the photos, I just really think that because there's only a few people coming, everybody needs to match. They don't necessarily need to be wearing matching clothes, like the same clothes, but they do need to actually wear similar colour tones. And the colour palette is basically just the colours of the Grand Canyon. So it's like rusts, light browns, creams, nude colours, maybe like a bit of an olive green possibly. So it is all just colours that are going to complement the canyon. But I just felt like with the photos and everything, if we were all in similar tones against the canyon, that would just give a really beautiful photo. So that's kind of what I had in mind. Ollie really doesn't care about stuff like that. So I've kind of had a little bit more control over things than Ollie, because he's just not bothered about what colours go together and what, he's just like whatever. He's actually looking forward to going to Vegas and doing some gambling, I think, so he's happy. The rest of it then I can actually make the decisions on. So I've been given a little bit of free rein with this. I think the foundation would look better if my skin was better. I have definitely talked about the wedding in a very random way. I hope it does make sense. Concealer, so I'm going to use my all-time favourite concealer, which is the Cover Perfection Tip Concealer from the Siam, which is a Korean brand. This is in shade 2, so it's slightly darker than the shade 1 that I normally use. I'm going to mix this in with the Tarte concealer, which is the Tarte Shape Tape, because this one is just very, very good and it photographs really well and it sets, and it's very full coverage concealer, but good for special occasions, I feel like. Whereas this one, it's very full coverage as well, but it has a little bit of a natural finish. So I'm thinking to mix the two, I'll get a good colour, and also the finish should be nice. So I'm actually going to mix them on my hand. That is very, very fair though. Look how fair that one is. This is in shade Fair. This is in shade 2. So I'm managing to talk about the makeup a little bit, aren't I? But I'm just not, I don't know. It's very, I mean, I commend people that have makeup channels and can chat about general life things and do their makeup. Like, I love watching Bailey Sarian, which is, she does murder mystery and makeup. So she does her makeup while talking about the most interesting murder and mystery type cases. And I'm really appreciating how hard she must work to actually, oh, that's a bit of the wrong colour, isn't it? Oh, I've put hair in it. Oh, it's one of Belle's. I shut the dogs out as well because I thought I don't want any dog hairs in my makeup, but they still get in here. But yeah, I commend her with doing her channel and talking about crime and all of that and being able to do her makeup. I can't even talk about my own life, let alone anyone else's life. This is where I think a sponge would be nice, but I'm going to use my finger to blend the rest of this in, I think. I want to get it up in there a bit because I've got quite dark inner corners. I have a very veiny under eye. Oh shoot. Put quite a lot on here. So yeah, everybody seems very excited about it, and they also don't mind the dress colours and stuff. I've actually ended up buying quite a lot of people's dresses just because I saw on Boohoo loads of dresses, they're all in the sale and they kind of match the theme perfectly. So I just bought a load and just said to the girls that were coming, I was like, I've bought a load of dresses, do you want to try them on and see if you like them? You don't have to wear it, you can definitely choose your own dress, but if you want to wear it you can have it. And so most of them did. It was only one of them, I think, it didn't really fit her very well. And she's ended up getting another dress, which she sent me a photo of the other day, and it looks so nice. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. Yeah, I'm definitely not, at the moment, a fan of the foundation. It's really building up just in between my brows here, which is a problem area for me. Oh my God, the dog hairs are everywhere now. So while we're staying in Vegas, because we've got those 3 nights before we actually travel to the canyon, I think most of us, I'm not sure if all of us are going to do it, but most of us are going to do the zip line. Have any of you guys ever done the zip line in Vegas? I've never done it before. but it sounds really, really cool. There's 2 different ones, I think. I want to do like the scariest one, but I think you go on it and it like zip lines through a mall or something, which I thought was really cool. So I'm trying to get everybody to do that. There's a few people who are like, no, I'm not doing that, and I'm like, come on, let's do it. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get everyone to do it, but I think on the next morning after we arrive, we might go off and do the zip lining as just a kind of activity all together. And then I'm going to book some nice restaurants for us. If you have any restaurant recommendations for Las Vegas, please let me know. I think Ollie really wants to do the Hell's Kitchen, so we might book that for all of us and maybe do that on the night before we travel up to the canyon. So yeah, we're just trying to think of like joint things to do together, because the 3 days before the wedding would be nice to just do all things together and enjoy each other's company and yeah, just have a lot of fun. And then obviously after the wedding is going to be a little bit more of everyone doing their own thing and people going off traveling. Some people are heading off to Los Angeles and having a few days there, San Francisco, San Diego. So people are just really making such a trip of it, which makes me so happy. I'm so pleased that people aren't just traveling out for our wedding. I think I'd feel guilty if they were. So yeah, I'm just really pleased that people are doing their own thing as well and making the most of the fact that they've travelled so far. Oh, another question that I got was, am I going to vlog the wedding? Yes, absolutely, I am going to be vlogging the wedding. I'm going to even ask maybe when we're having the ceremony and stuff. I know that'll be videoed anyway, but I think that'll be videoed and then like music over the top of it. So yeah, I'm going to ask whoever doesn't mind filming us a little bit while we actually get married, just because it would be so cool to actually show you guys that in a video. Okay, where are we up to now? I think I'm gonna do this thing now where I'm gonna put a load of powder, which I'm dreading doing because honestly this foundation is dry, or my skin is dry. I don't know, if something is dry and off with my foundation. Probably shouldn't have tried out a new one for this video, but I think I'm absolutely gonna wear this one. I'm gonna try this one. I'm gonna do this whole look again and try this foundation, just because, yeah, this is heavy, cakey. I don't like it. But now I've got to put a load of powder on. But this powder is Soft Focus Loose Powder from HNB Cosmetics. And I've been trying it out a little bit. And it actually really does soft focus your skin. So I'm hoping it will cover up a little bit of these dry patches. But I've got a feeling it's going to cling to them and look even worse. So obviously this video was not going to go perfectly, was it? Because I'm trying to talk and do my makeup and try out new products at the same time. It was destined to go wrong. Oh, also another question I wanted to ask you guys, because me and Ollie are going to be having our little kind of couple of days, just me and him after the wedding, I really wanted to know what hotel you would recommend, because I've had a look at a lot of the hotels and you can obviously pay quite a lot and stay in a nice suite somewhere. But all the hotels look very dated, and I just think Vegas is more about like the gambling and the scene and, you know, all of that vibe of Vegas. I actually don't think the hotels are probably going to be that great. But if you know of any just really nice ones, maybe ones that have been recently renovated, that you would recommend that we stay in after the wedding, I would love to hear, because we really don't know what to do. I was thinking about hiring the car or keeping the car that we've got, because we're going to hire cars to actually drive to the canyon from Vegas. I was thinking, shall we just keep that car and then drive outside of Vegas somewhere and go and find like a nice place for a couple of days? Oh, there's this other thing though that we're thinking about doing. I haven't actually booked it yet. And in Williams, you have the railway line. So I don't know, it's like the original railway or something. I think it's more of a tourist attraction now. You can stay in the railway hotel and then you can go on the train and it will take you into the canyon. We would have seen the canyon anyway, but I just thought it was a really cool way of seeing it. So yeah, we're thinking we're going to stay in the railway hotel and then take a trip on the 1st of September on the railway line and go into the canyon that way. And you can pay for like different classes. So they have the basic class all the way up to like the first class, but they're very old-fashioned classes. So the first class has like floral seating, and if you pay for the top class, which I can't remember the names of the stuff, but you actually get the their last carriage, and on the back of the carriage you can go outside, and you know you have like the railings on the back of a train carriage, you can like stand there and you're actually outside on the train in the canyon. So I think we're going to do this with Ollie's parents, because we're going to spend a couple of days with them, because they fly back on the Sunday, which is like 2 days after the wedding. So we're going to spend them 2 days with them and go back to Vegas with them and make sure they get back there okay and get their flight all right. And then we'll have like 3 days after that together. So yeah, we're thinking about doing this train thing with them because it sounds so fun. And apparently they have actors. I watched a few YouTube videos on it. Apparently they have actors that ride horses alongside the train when you're on it. You actually get to like be part of almost like Western film. It's supposed to feel like that, I think. So it's quite expensive, especially if you want to go first class, which I just think we're never going to do something like that again. Just go first class. I might go first class out and then just do the cheapest one back, just to see the difference between the two classes. I don't know, we'll see how that goes. Probably end up doing first class both ways. But yeah, it's got like, in the first class section, it's got like proper sofas, it's got a little bar in there, and it really does look really cool. So yeah, that's one of the little things that we'd like to do. There's so many things you could do there. You could go like rafting, you could go off-road driving, go horse riding. There's just loads of different things to do that, I just don't know. We're just going to have to see what happens. I'm going to have to just go along, go with the flow a little bit, I think, because like I said earlier, I just don't want to over plan and have too many things going on. Okay, let's put a bit of this through the eyebrows. So my brows, I am actually leaving at the minute. They're kind of growing out. Before I go, I will be giving them a wax and a tint, so they'll look a little bit more defined, and I won't have any, because I have got a few hairs kind of over the eyelids, which doesn't help the eyeshadow. And so I will be waxing and tinting them before we go as well, so they will look a little bit better. Right, let's dust off this bake and see. Ooh! It has helped the foundation. The nose is a fail. We're going to ignore the nose. That is absolute fail. We're almost there, guys. This is like the longest video in history, isn't it? I've got to edit this. Oh my God. I'm going to have to listen to myself blabbing on. The costs of it. So I don't know. It's like difficult to say exactly what it's cost, because obviously your flights and everything can cost all different prices, but I'll let you know the price of the actual package. So the wedding package is just what we're having in that 3.5 hours that I told you about earlier, and that costs $4,800. So about, I think at the moment that's probably about £4,000, which, I mean, yeah, it's a lot of money, but these days weddings cost an absolute fortune. So yeah, $4,800 for the package. Might be a little bit more than that. It does vary a bit because you can add extras on. Like I added the extras of videographer, which I think was $800, which is a lot of money, but to me, having videography is literally priceless. I love video, obviously, more than photos. I just feel like video captures the real essence of the day and the realness of it, and it captures those little moments that maybe in photography you can't get. Do you know what I mean? I'm just an avid lover of video footage. I actually wanted drones, but you're not even allowed drones, I don't think, so that was a no. Also, I don't know what I'm going to do about my hair. I have bought one of those banana clips, which I'm thinking of like clipping up. So I quite like the idea of it being almost in a ponytail, but like not a ponytail, so a ponytail that's falling out with some curls around. I suppose a loose, natural looking hairstyle, if you know what I mean, just to suit the surroundings a little bit. So setting spray is my favourite, just the Urban Decay All Nighter, and I'm going to just douse myself in this, and honestly I'm going to look soaked by the end of it, so I just think this is going to save it. Right, we'll let this settle in. So I also picked up this palette, which I got in the sale. It's half price. It's the Natasha Denona palette, and it's called the Mini Love palette. And I did think this was a beautiful wedding eyeshadow palette. I mean, look at it. That just screams wedding makeup. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a little bit of this colour just to brighten up here and see. Oh, that's nice. That's just brightened it up slightly. That actually blends really nicely in with that glitter. Under the eye, I'm just going to put that brown liner on that I used above the eye. And then I'm going to just use a light brown from the Victoria Beckham palette to blend it in. Probably just a little bit underneath. I liked, oh, this liner this is, you need to buy this. This is the Victoria Beckham Kohl eyeliner in Cocoa. So I think I've like covered quite a lot of the wedding in this video. I probably missed a lot of things as well, but I feel like we've gone into quite a lot of detail. I hope it's been an interesting enough video. I feel like I'd like to do a video on me and Ollie and how we first met, because our little travelling journey we had was honestly just the most amazing time ever. We travelled to, I might as well talk about it now really, while I'm finishing this makeup off. Seeing as this video is about our wedding, I might as well chat about how we met and stuff. We met at a nightclub, and then, like, you know, we then went off travelling together. And the places that we travelled to were, we went to Barcelona, we went to Rome, and then we went to New York, Los Angeles. Los Angeles is really cool, isn't it? Las Vegas, and then we went to New Zealand and Australia. New Zealand was our absolute favourite place. I mean, just absolutely incredible. The people, the scenery, just everything about New Zealand is beautiful. We had such an amazing time there. We actually hired a camper van. It's quite a funny story, because with this trip we didn't plan everything. So one of the things we didn't plan is where we were going to stay in New Zealand when we arrived. Anyway, we got to the airport in New Zealand and we didn't actually have any accommodation to go to, and we were like, oh my god, where are we going to stay? And we were there, and I was like, that's okay, we want to hire a camper van. So the plan was, we're going to get to the airport and just phone up camper van companies and just hire a camper van, and they'd deliver it to the airport, all good. So we got there and we were like, bloody hell, it's really busy. Anyway, it was the Rugby World Cup, and if you don't know, New Zealand is all about rugby. So every single camper van was hired apart from one, and this one, the company was even like, oh, like, we do have one, but it's been in and out of the repair shop, and like we weren't really going to rent it out anymore. And I was like, please, we're desperate, we have nowhere to go. Like, we just needed this camper van. We didn't want to find a hotel and waste time in a hotel. We wanted to do a camper van, travel around the country. Obviously, it's our own fault for not being organised, but I didn't realise how difficult it would be. So the guy was like, okay, you can have the camper van, no worries. So he drove it to the airport, and it was a little bit of a rust bucket, I'm not going to lie. We looked at it and thought, is this going to be okay? It's going to take us around the country. He was like, it's okay, but this is the number to call if there's any problems, just give us a call. Anyway, we had the van for about maybe 3 days in. We had 11 nights in New Zealand. 3 days in, we're in the van driving on to the motorway, and I didn't drive at the time, only Ollie did. And I saw him like pushing his foot in and out and looking panicked. And I was like looking at him like, something wrong, and he's pushing his foot. And then I obviously at the time I didn't know how to drive, but I kind of had an idea of how things work, and I noticed it was the clutch that I'm guessing the clutch just wasn't working. Turns out it wasn't. And Ollie was like, I think the clutch has failed. And we were on a motorway, and I was like, oh my god, what does this mean? He was like, it's okay, we're going to drift along in the slow lane. And luckily there was a turn off the motorway, so we could go off down this lane. So he said, it's okay, we're going to drift off the motorway and we're going to go down this lane. And so we did that. And then we came to a halt on this road, which was literally in the middle of nowhere. And we phoned up the company and were like, the van's broken down and we're on this road, which we didn't even know what it was. And at this time, this is 11 years ago, is this? So it wasn't just a case of like Google Maps, you have internet everywhere. No. This was like, find where we are, find a sign, figure out exactly where we are and tell the guy on the phone. He managed to figure out where we were after driving around for 3 hours. He headed to our area that we were, and he drove around for 3 hours and then eventually found us. And yeah, this was the middle of the night and we were in the van, and yeah, middle of the night, all you could hear was all these animals howling in the forest that were either side of us. You don't even know what animals they are because you're not from New Zealand, so you're imagining that they're these massive bears that are going to come out and attack the van. Anyway, we were all safe and sound in the van. The guy picked us up, and this was just the funniest moment. He did not speak. He was like, he just came, hooked the van up to the back of his van. We were like, so what happens? Do we like sit in the van, or does he just leave us here? Do we get taken somewhere? And he was like, oh, get in the van. So we're like, okay. So we're in this, not our van, we got in his van, like a truck, you know, like a tow truck. And then we were in there and he's like driving and me and Ollie just like in this tow truck, like bobbing along, thinking, where are we going? No idea where we're going. We're just in this van with this random man, our van's on the back. It was just the funniest time ever. And it was perfectly fine. Obviously, we were perfectly safe. The man was supposed to come and rescue us. He took us to the caravan site. It was actually the caravan site that we'd left the day before. So we'd left it, driven a few hours, and we were on our journey. So it set us back a whole day. My ears actually hurt from talking so much. Is that a thing? My own ears hurt from talking. I think I'm just going to wear my regular lipstick, which is so boring. I was looking into all sorts of lipsticks, different one for the wedding day. I wanted something special, but honestly, my regular lipstick that I wear, I just love it and I feel like it's me, and I'm going to wear it, but it's quite dark, so I'm going to put a little bit of concealer with it and just keep the same colour, but just lighten down the middle a bit. I do have a liner for it somewhere. I've lost it. I will find it, so I will put a liner on the day, but just for the sake of this video, we'll just put it on. It is MAC lipstick in the shade Whirl. Pop a little bit of concealer in the middle, and hopefully I don't too much. Oh no, I think it's okay. So this makeup, I need to actually, this has turned out pretty good. I think we're kind of about here with the makeup. Obviously this is not how I'm going to be having my hair, but I just styled it like this just so that it didn't look too bad with the makeup. So let me know your thoughts as to what you think about the makeup and how it's come out. I think it's come out really nice, and actually this lipstick matches really nicely with how the eyeshadow colours come out. Blusher, I might chop and change this a little bit because it might be a little bit too pinky. I don't know actually though. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry if it's been all over the place. And I also hope that I managed to get a lot of the wedding information across to you as well as doing my makeup. Let me know in the comments if you think that I did that okay, or if you have any other questions about the wedding, then leave them in the comments because I'll answer them down there. And definitely consider subscribing if you're not already. The next video I'm going to be filming is that palette video talking about all of these makeup pieces, all of this luxury makeup, which just includes this Tarte one, Victoria Beckham. I've got some Benefit in there. I've got a whole load of stuff that I bought from auction, which I'm going to film in a minute after a cup of tea because I have talked so much. I feel like I need a cup of tea and a nap before I start the next video. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and thank you guys for supporting my wedding, because I know that I talk about it in a lot of my videos and I mention it, and you guys are just like, oh, it's nice, like chat about the wedding, it's not a problem. So thank you for being very supportive on it, because it is a very exciting time in mine and Ollie's life, so it's been great to be able to share this with you. I will leave all of the products that I use today linked in the description box below, and yeah, I really hope you guys are all doing very well, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.